I understand a lot of LSU fans' first reaction to the news of Corey Kiner's transfer was almost like the reaction from LSU diehards with any transfers over the last year or so. We didn't need them. We were fine without them. We had this in place to make up for that loss, and they weren't doing this anyway. We knew it was coming. You hear everything, most of which is absolute BS. When the truth, in fact, is, maybe I'm just not willing to throw away young men as quickly as others. Then again, I also believe that no one player is bigger than the program. And LSU will probably be okay in the running game department without Corey Kiner. But to pretend that LSU aren't losing a very talented, high-potential player here is absolutely alarming in its ridiculousness. Why any LSU Tiger fan, after especially seeing what he could do on the field as a freshman in very limited reps, and you would come away from today's news saying, oh, well, LSU didn't really lose a talent here. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. And is thinking that is just borderline hilarious. LSU lost a great talent today. I'm not saying LSU lost the future Kevin Falk, and we just lost a future Heisman winner. But what he showed he could do on the field was pretty frightening in his abilities, in his versatility as well, hopping over guys. But then again, we knew that Corey was on the fence for a while. We had put that in an article this winter that Corey Kiner could be on the fence about leaving the school. At the time, many thought that was, a reactionary piece and was just blowing smoke. But it's because we're pretty close to this situation. This had been building for a while, but at the same time, Corey was still giving it his all, and this happened very quickly. He's frustrated. He wasn't happy. He wanted to come back home. And you cannot begrudge him for doing that at all. And in my opinion, it's sad to see Corey go, because he's another Tiger I'll be thinking, what if? I know we saw such a small sample size, and it's not like, he played 3 years and was injured, and what if, like a lot of other, historic Tigers. But for me, he's definitely a what if, because just the entertainment factor of what he could provide on a football field, jumping over guys, the stiff arms, the moves, the speed, the pace. He was electrifying Death Valley at a time when it was a corpse earlier this season. And we're talking the Central Michigan game where he went off. But, it's, I think this is all about knowing Noah Cain is coming, knowing John Emery is looking really good, despite an injury, despite fumbles, whatever issues people might perceive. John Emery has been pretty much pegged to be that number one back, but then also knowing there's Noah Cain, seeing Armani Goodwin running really well in practices, seeing Josh Williams run very violently, very attack-minded runner. I love what I see from Josh Williams as well. And then even Trey Bradford, number 26, he used to be number 8 at LSU. Now he's wearing that number 26. He has looked good in spring ball as well. So, Corey Kiner was getting his share of the first team reps. It's not like this is a player who was frozen out. This is a young man who is very much a part of the future plans and has chosen not to be a part of it. And that's a shame. That's sad. And now I wonder if his close friend and fellow 2021 freshman running back Armani Goodwin will follow him or try and kind of seize this moment to be that number 2 or number 3 back. That's something that I'm very keen on. We've got to keep our eyes on, because Armani has no shortage of suitors. I'm hearing whispers of Bryce Langston's going to transfer. I'm hearing whispers of Derek Davis Jr. I'm hearing whispers of this player, of that player, and it's just LSU are going to lose some players here. That's just what's going to happen. It always happens every spring to every college football team in the universe, especially the elite schools. Even Alabama will lose a couple guys. But to pretend that LSU can afford to lose anybody right now is frankly ridiculous. And you just don't understand the realities of where the roster is at. Whatever you want to argue about where the running back room is, stability-wise, that's fine. It'll probably be fine. But I'm just saying, numbers-wise, for the final 85, LSU are not looking good. And it's how are we going to bridge the gap for those numbers? Is it going to be with quality transfers? Quality walk-ons. How are we going to make that number up? I think you're about to see Brian Kelly and his staff get very creative in how they move forward from here. But bad news with Corey Kiner leaving. Sucks to see such a great young man leave. But, like I've said before, nobody is bigger than LSU. No one player is bigger than the program. No one coach is bigger than the program. And that's just where I'm going to leave that, Wish Corey nothing but the best. Gotten to know him and his family pretty well. And they're always going to be friends of mine.